Nice day in here overall for UNH. This week has been a pretty good week in here. Had a low of 300, that high of 318.8 that came in today. Close the day 318.50, up around $8 from yesterday's trading session. It looks like everybody's pricing in right around a $10 expected move by tomorrow's expiration. So we'll see what happens in here. Basically, on this weekly, as you can see, we have our fib levels on here 338.94. That's going to be the first major fib level in there. But if we dig in deeper to this daily chart, you can see that really this candle that placed in back in May had a high in here of 324. That's going to be our first resistance. If we can get above that 320, that low 320s, at 324 area, then there should be no stopping us to get to this 338.94 resistance. Above that, if we can overshoot that, breach that, and then consolidate, then we can worry about this gap up here that we need to kind of close, this big gap in here on the daily, right around that 376, 377 area. But until then, the 324 area, 320s, that whole area is going to be a major place for us that we need to breach, and we need to breach it quickly and then hold and then worry about the 338s before we start kind of overshooting here into this big gap fill. Now, if we go back out to the daily, or I'm sorry, the weekly chart on here, you can see that volume has obviously been decreasing, but it looks like we are holding steady in here. RSI completely oversold. That's what you're going to expect after that huge drop in here. Basically, you had that high of 387, that low at 284. So about $140 down move in here in 1 week. That's going to extremely pull back that RSI. And then obviously it's going to take a while for it to get up again. So RSI is looking good. Volume in here decent, has been holding steady ever since the big drop, but it looks like all the net flows in here have turned bullish. So that is also good. But 320 to 324, that whole area, that is going to be key for us in here before we start getting up to this 338, that first fib level in there. And then above that, we're worried about that gap that we need to fill. Also on here, you can see this 9-day EMA currently trading at 354. That's going to be a spot for us. That is going to be a little bit of a hiccup before we get to that gap fill at the 370s. So that is also going to be another area of concern for us. But first, again, 320 to 324, that's going to be the major area in here. Now, like I mentioned before, $10 expected move by tomorrow's expiration. Next week, looking at right around a $12 expected move, go all the way out to the following week, $18. And if you go to your July expiration, everyone is pricing in right around a $25 expected move. So still some decent volatility left in here. Obviously, that's what's going to happen when you have two big down moves like this in the matter of basically a month and a half in here. So that's what you're going to get. You're still going to have the volatility still in there. It's going to take a while for it to kind of suck out. But perhaps if we get a nice run in here, a nice move tomorrow, a nice run next week above the 330s, then obviously IV would contract for us a little bit more in here as well. So again, we'll see what happens in here for the rest of the week. 320 to 324, that's the areas we're looking at. 300 is going to be your major psych level, your big support in here. So that is kind of what we're watching here in UNH. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.